In 2018, the Shift project found that watching a half-hour show via a streaming platform emits 1.6 kilograms of carbon dioxide into the environment, and that Netflix streaming consumes 370 terawatt-hours of energy per year worldwide. Meanwhile, a peer-reviewed journal published in 2014 found that the same half-hour watching session creates only 0.2 kilograms of carbon dioxide. Among the sea of information about carbon emissions is another ocean of questions. How much is 1 terawatt-hour? How much is 0.2 kilograms of carbon dioxide in the grand scheme of things? How do we measure the carbon footprint of a Netflix show anyway? This ultimately leads to an even bigger question many are grappling with right now. How can we better understand the carbon footprint of our daily activities? Following the mainstreaming of the climate movement in 2019, many conscientious consumers are asking themselves where to start to reduce their environmental impact. The OfNK is building an open standard for carbon footprint measurement for every country in the world. Think of it as a nutrition label, but for the carbon footprint of your purchases.
All CO2 studies you see, there are always gaps because no one has actually looked into this topic, or no one really had thought about certain things, and there are big gaps. And this is where the assumptions kind of come in, and that's where we believe we have to make this transparent so consumers can understand it if they want to.
David Leyes works with both OfNK and its partner Ecolytiq to develop a tool that will be rolled out with banks worldwide throughout 2020. The tool uses personal spending data linked with the open standard from OfNK to determine your carbon footprint per purchase. This allows consumers to understand the hidden cost of their purchases for the planet and get a better handle on the metric of carbon dioxide equivalent.
So we basically analyze your bank account transactions, and based on where you spend your money, we can calculate what is actually your footprint. And in addition, we give you tips, hints, strings, and we actually explain you the impact that you have on the environment by your purchases. So ultimately, it's kind of a consumer educational tool, and we market it more or less for banks or financial institutions.
The OfNK already has partners with banks all around the world to roll out the tool. Ecolytiq takes care of implementation within banks and offers support for how to train customers to get the most out of the information provided. David has been in the payments industry for over 19 years and has witnessed how it has changed.
In 2015, the first time I was talking about it, was standing on stage in London on the payment conference, and I opened up with my speech saying, well, I want to talk with you about climate change, and the people looked at me as I would have a stroke or something. Why climate change? It had nothing to do with banking.
The mainstreaming of the climate movement presents opportunities for projects of epic scale, such as a global open standard for carbon footprints. Developing data-driven standards could ultimately deepen our connection to our climate impacts.